not as effective as other means of discouraging behaviors. So what are the potential effects of spanking a child? Spanking a child can often result in negative physical effects, including lower self-esteem and a higher tendency toward violence in the child. As Psych Central argues, when the people supposed to protect them actually harm them, it can damage a child's self-esteem. Children may conclude that their parents hit them because there is something wrong with them. The resulting low self-esteem may lead to lower performance in school or careers. Furthermore, children who feel degraded by their parents because of their spankings may later turn to drugs or alcohol to help them cope with their feelings of rejection. Several studies, including a new study in Pediatrics cited by Time magazine, have concluded that children who are hit by their parents are more likely to become violent children and later violent adults. As Dr. Sears points out, hitting models hitting. Children learn by observing. If a child observes a parent hitting them or a sibling, they may model the behavior or conclude that hitting others is okay. To evidence this principle, one could consider an experiment by Albert Bandura, detailed in my AP Psychology textbook, in which children observed adults acting violently toward a Bobo doll. When taken to a room to play with a similar doll, many children modeled the violence of the adults, more so than children not exposed to the adults' actions. This reveals how children often mimic adult behavior, including violence. This mimicry can lead to a higher tendency toward violence in children who are spanked. In her article, Bryant includes details revealing that children who are spanked are more likely to engage in violent acts later in life. Children who are spanked are more likely to spank their own children and in extreme cases even abuse them or their spouses. Also, children who observe violence in the form of spankings from their parents are more likely to mimic that violence toward other children. In the study in Pediatrics cited by Time, children who were spanked at the age of 3 were more violent than other children by the age of 5. In some cases, this can lead to criminal activity. In a study by researchers Sheldon and Eleanor Gluck, children that were spanked ended up more aggressive and antisocial and were more likely to engage in criminal activity than children raised in supportive, nonviolent environments. In addition to its potential psychological effects on the child, spanking can also result in physical damage to a child's body and or brain. According to Dr. Sears, parents who punish set themselves up to punish harder. For example, when a parent gives a child a light swat on the butt to discourage a behavior, and the child then continues that behavior anyway, the parent may convince themselves they need to hit harder. As the hitting continues to escalate as the child continues to misbehave, punishment can become child abuse. The escalation, often accompanying corporal punishment, can lead to potentially devastating physical damage to a child. Blows to a child's buttocks can result in damage to the sciatic nerve, which can cause bleeding in the muscle and possible impairment to the leg. Spankings can also cause damage to the tailbone and can send force waves up the spinal column, which may result in fractures in vertebral bones. If a child has undetected physical deformities or disorders, even light blows can result in severe injuries. Spankings can also stunt a child's brain development. The brain develops faster than any other organ during early childhood, so Ryan points out that this is a very sensitive and critical period for its development. Pain and fear of spankings can put stress on a child's brain, negatively affecting its development and functioning. The results are evidenced by Kendra Ninia from Northern Illinois University, who cites a study in which children who were spanked had IQs 5 points lower than children disciplined in ways other than spankings. Not only is it associated with many negative effects, in many ways, spanking is not even an effective means of punishment, and there are many alternatives to it. Spanking a child discourages a behavior, but does not encourage a better one. Reinforcement has proven a more effective means of shaping a child's behavior than punishment. For this reason, parents should be as quick to reward good behavior as to punish bad behavior. Encouragement alone does not work, but there are safer and more effective means of punishing a behavior than spanking a child, such as timeouts. Not only does a timeout not involve physical damage to a child, it also allows a child time to think about their actions, which is often left out during or after a spanking. Also, spanking a child often does not allow a child familiar with the act to avoid punishment. Most children seek to please their parents. So instead of spanking them, parents should offer alternatives to the negative behavior and talk them over with their child. Now, let's review why spanking children is not a good idea. With all the potential negative psychological and physical effects of it, and with other more effective alternatives, why do we continue to spank our children? As Kendra Ninia notes, many parents continue to spank their children because of the rationalization of I was spanked and I turned out